guys, this is it. This is the last time I'm going to be doing this until at least the preseason. I'm going to miss doing a recap of this team until next season. But anyway, in the good words of my man Spitz 389, what's up YouTube? Your boy Xavier back again with another sports topic, and today we're going to talk some football, Houston Texans football. We're going to do a recap of the entire 2023-2024 NFL season of the Houston Texans, and then we're going to do a recap of this past Saturday's NFL divisional round between the Houston Texans and the Baltimore Ravens. But before I get into that, like I mentioned in my last Houston Texans videos, if you like my Texans videos, like the videos, comment on the videos, share them on any social media platform that you use, and I'll be more than happy to share your videos. You can follow me on my social media. My links will be in the description, including the link to my Rumble channel. Besides Mike Henry and Spitz 389, the links to the YouTube pages for Alexa and Maria, Swaggy Reacts, Maria and Olivia, and Tyson Master at Work will also be in the description down below. So let's get into it. We're not going to do a recap of the preseason, just the regular season. Starting on September the 10th. The Texans lost their first game of the season to the Ravens, 25-9. Then they lost their second game of the season to the Colts, 31-20. Then they won their third game and their first win on the road against the Jaguars, 37-17. Their first home game victory opened up a can of whoop ass on the Steelers, 30-6. The Texans was this close to beating the Falcons, and the Falcons stole their victory, beating the Texans by a deuce, 21-19. But the Texans made a comeback the next week, beating the Saints 20-13. They were this close to beating the Panthers, but I give the Panthers credit. They beat the Texans by a deuce, 15-13. Then the Texans was on a 3-game winning streak, beating the Buccaneers 39-37, the Bengals 30-27, and the Cardinals 21-16. But the Jaguars got revenge on the Texans 24-21. The Texans beat the Broncos December 3rd, 22-17. But they got embarrassed by the New York Jets on December 10th, 30-6. Texans beat the Titans at overtime on December 17th, 19-16. They got embarrassed by the Browns on Christmas Eve, 36-22. They opened up a can of whoop ass on the Titans on New Year's Eve, 26-3, sweeping the Titans. And they got revenge on the Indianapolis Colts on January 6, 23-19. In the wild card round, they got revenge on the Cleveland Browns 45-14. And now it's time to do a recap of the divisional round against the Ravens. This is it, man. This is the last time that we're doing this until next season. I've already did a recap of the entire season between September 10th and January 13th. Now it's a recap of the divisional round between the Texans and the Ravens. Mike Henry's here, ladies and gentlemen. So, both teams kicked a field goal in the first quarter. Then both teams scored a touchdown in the second quarter, with the game being 10 apiece at halftime. But the Texans collapsed in the second half. Didn't score shit in the third quarter while giving up a touchdown, with the Ravens leading 17-10 after the third quarter. Texans didn't score shit in the fourth quarter while giving up 17, falling to the Baltimore Ravens 34-10. The Ravens are now 14-4 as the Texans wraps up their season with 11-8. The Ravens will be facing the defending Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs, in the AFC Championship, while the Detroit Lions faces the San Francisco 49ers in the NFC Championship. First things first, I give the Ravens credit because they came to play. Congrats to the Ravens winning the divisional round against us, but the Texans, even though it was an emotional loss, they had one hell of a season. They played much better this season than they did in the last 3 seasons. Because the last 3 seasons, the Rockets and the Texans were ass. And I'm going to tell you why. It all started 4 years ago on January 12th. We went against the defending Super Bowl champs, the Chiefs, in the wild card round. We were up 24-0 in the first quarter, and then the Texans choked that lead in the last 3 quarters, falling to the Super Bowl champs by 20, 51-31. 2 weeks before the tragic death of Kobe Bryant, Gigi, and 7 other people. Then the 2020-2021 season, we finished our season 4-12. Next season, we were 4-13. Last season, Texans played like shit. They didn't win no games at the crib. They only won 3 games, but they won them on the road. We had 13 losses and 1 tie. We were this close to beating the Colts in the opening season, but they choked that 17-point lead in the fourth quarter, forcing the game to go to overtime and forcing the game to end in a draw. And now this season, the Texans finished up their season with 11 wins and 8 losses. They started 0-2. Then they became 2-2. Even the Texans were losing, they kept on winning. I'm telling you, we have a better head coach and a better quarterback. DeMeco Ryans, thank you for everything that you've done for the Texans this season. And CJ Stroud, thank you for being an amazing quarterback for this season. And you know, CJ Stroud did went to Snoop Dogg's football school. And I'm glad that they got him to be our quarterback. So thank you, Snoop, for introducing us to CJ Stroud. What are your 2 cents about this?
Like you just said, we went from 2019 season where we choked the league against the Chiefs in the divisional round, which led to DeAndre Hopkins getting traded to the Cardinals, no thanks to the former GM, former head coach Bill O'Brien. Just 2 weeks away before Kobe Bryant's death, and then March 11, 2020, is the start of this frustrating pandemic, which hit not only you and me, but all the world. And 2020 was ass. Texans were ass. 4-12, fired Bill O'Brien, and that was Deshaun Watson and J.J. Watt's last game as a Texan. 1 year later, David Culley came in, 4-13. Watson did not play because he sat in the bench. And then after the 21 season, Watson got traded. He got suspended for the first 10 or 11 games because
it was 11 games.
11 games, messing around with all the women for sexual assault or whatever you call it. But came back to H-Town and got revenge because he demanded to get traded, and he got traded and got revenge against us right here. he got his payback. And then in the final game against the Colts in Indy, we were one loss away of getting the #1 pick, but thank goodness the Texans won and got the 2 pick. Got C.J. Stroud, Will Anderson, Tank Dell, and of course the head coach, D'Amico Ryans, to turn this 3-year nightmare into the rearview mirror. And like I said, the Texans have risen from the dead. 3 years of being an ass, and now back where they belong in the playoffs. And hopefully the Rockets can get to the playoffs. They haven't been there since September 2020.
Mm-hmm.
But since then, Rockets were ass, courtesy of Steven Silas. But now we got a new head coach, and the Rockets still fighting for a play-in tournament playoff spot. So, like I said, Texans, you've had an emotional season. And I'm looking forward to see you guys in year number 2 of the C.J. Stroud, D'Amico Ryans, and the rest of the era.
And with that being said, it's time to move on and find out which team do we want to see win the Super Bowl. My prediction is it better be the Lions and the Ravens in the Super Bowl, because I swear, if the Chiefs go to the Super Bowl again, I'm guarantee you they're probably going to focus on overrated ass Taylor Swift, showing her in the skybox watching her boyfriend Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, and the rest of the Chiefs play. So that's my prediction of the Super Bowl, the Lions and the Ravens. I'm going for the Lions.
Mine is the Ravens and the Niners, because you're thinking, how will the Lions beat the Niners in the West Coast? It's going to be pretty tricky to beat the Niners. But like I said, Tyler Bass, I don't know what the hell you thinking, missing that 44-yard field goal, because you had one job to do and you fucking blew it to the right, and just like that, you let the crybaby Mahomes escape with a 3-point win. Now he's got to go to Baltimore, take on a team that eliminated us last Saturday, the Baltimore Ravens. So Baltimore, you may eliminate us last Saturday. Now's your chance to eliminate the Super Bowl champs. Send them out of here, because we want to see a rematch of Super Bowl 47 between you guys and the Niners.
Mm-hmm. And with that being said, that's going to wrap up our thoughts about the entire 2023-2024 Texans season and a recap of the Texans and the Ravens divisional round. If you're new here, hit subscribe, hit that notification bell for my next Texans rant. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, leave your comment down below. Make sure you subscribe to Mikey's YouTube channel, which will be in the description down below, with the links to the YouTube pages for Swaggy Reacts, Spitz 389, Alexa and Maria, Tyson Master at Work, and Maria and Olivia. I'll be back tomorrow asking you guys, should Mos Def be higher than Talib Kweli on any hip-hop list? That's been running through my mind ever since I read a bunch of hip-hop lists of Mos Def being higher than Talib Kweli. Until then, thank you, Houston Texans. See you next season. Play stupid games. Win stupid prizes.
Win stupid prizes.
No more talk.
No more talk.